What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode of America's Dummies. That would be us, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I am Kyle McClure. Joined with me, as always, is Mr. Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, Kyle. Had a good day.
Hell yeah.
Had some good lunch. That was pretty good. And I got to sleep pretty good, too. So.
Yeah, what was the cause for the sleeping well? Because I know you struggle with sleeping.
Yeah, I've been struggling with sleeping for a while. But you recommended the Liquid IV.
Yeah, that's right.
Sleep, what is it called?
Sleep multiplier. Yeah.
Sleep multiplier.
It's got some melatonin in there, about 3 milligrams in one packet that you put 16 ounces of water.
Yeah.
And then it has L-theanine, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And then it's got one other botanical, so some plant-based.
Yeah, it's like herb-based.
Yeah.
It has potassium and, the kind of minerals and vitamins you need. But I drank it. Drank it. Excuse me. I'm Puerto Rican.
That's no excuse.
Chevy. Inside joke. But like 30 minutes into it, I felt calm. I laid down and I went to sleep without struggling. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone who usually kicks back a few to help him go to sleep. In this case, it knocks him out, but with the Liquid IV, I guess it didn't knock you out. You just felt naturally tired?
Yeah. I just felt like I needed to go to bed, and I didn't struggle to fall asleep, I guess. Yeah. My mind was calm. I was chill.
I have that issue with when I'm trying to go to sleep. I don't know if any of y'all have it. Comment below if you do, but I have the issue when I'm ready to go to bed, even if I'm tired, my mind just keeps going.
Yeah.
Just keeps going, and it's hard to shut off. But once that I started taking the Liquid IV, within minutes of drinking the whole bottle, even sometimes just half the bottle, I'm ready to just pass the F out. Yeah. I'm ready to just go to sleep. And so also the botanical that they have in it actually helps with relaxing the body to help you fall asleep. I think that's a big difference.
I think that's a big plus, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the new video intro as well as the new logo. We just had that designed. It took us 7 days to get that all designed and taken care of from someone off of Fiverr, a freelance website.
Yeah, shout out to Fiverr.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys need any work done,
Control A.
Check it out. Name. Control A.
Control A. But yeah, that was pretty good. Freaking gnat. Sorry. Just right in front of my face. But no, so we are really excited about that new intro. We have an outro too as well. They're basically just logo animations, right? So that's our intro and outro, but we love them. So hopefully you guys do too. Let us know below, comment below what you think. And on that note, don't forget, before we get right into the details of today, to like, subscribe, rate, follow, and share all the thingies that you do.
Yeah.
The click
all the bells and the whistles.
Yeah, all the thingamabobs and doohickeys. Make sure you click those and subscribe. And hey, let us know what you think. You send us an email at americasdummiespodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think of the show, if you have any feedback. And please, one of the biggest things you could do is just share this video with people you think would be interested. Even if you just think it's like from minute 28:30 to the 33-minute marker. I mean, whatever, right? Just get the word out, help us spread the word, and help us get better, provide you better content. This is all about you. This ain't about us. This is about providing you with the best content possible and making sure that we have the facts to back up our dumbass opinions.
Yeah, just comment, hit us up on the email if there's topics that you think are interesting.
Let us know. We'll see if we can cover them. Yeah. I mean, we're not going to be, the authoritative source, if you will, on every topic that we talk about. That's why we have to do a lot of research to make sure we do. But a lot of this stuff is just we're tying it into morals and values that we think every American needs to be aware of and needs to think about, because it does affect us. Like, for instance, today, some of the things we're going to be talking about. First, we're going to talk about getting to a little story that he brought up to me the other day about a video he saw about Florida Governor Ron DeSantis outlawing the use of flying the Puerto Rican flag in your car. No. Is that true or not? We'll find out. But and then after that, we're going to go into what's been going on in the past 10 days. I would say a little bit longer, but it's been a heated topic in the past 10 days or so. And it's the Target boycott and the Target outrage from a bunch of people about their Pride collection for 2023. And most specifically, their targeting of Pride gear towards kids who don't know what a pronoun is, confuse mommy and daddy, people who just don't know any better, and it's all pushed on them by their parents and their corporate overlords that think they are better than us. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into why there's some theory as to the connection between the World Economic Forum and ESG and DEI. ESG, environmental social governance, which affects what companies do because of money, essentially.
No.
And then DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we'll get into some of that topic. And then, by the way, the biggest one about Target, and especially with the kids stuff, was also the selling of certain clothing that was.
Yeah,
what was it?
Like
it was tied to.
You got onesies that are Pride onesies.
Isn't there was a lot of backlash over one particular designer?
There was the swimsuit, the Tuck It.
Yeah.
The swimsuit. Apparently, it was Tuck It friendly.
For kids, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing to tuck unless you're a boy.
Yeah, if you're a girl, you got nothing to tuck.
But the satanic. There's ties to a satanic. Everybody's referring to it as a satanic designer, but the designer has denied being a Satanist, Satan follower, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
His apparel and accessories say otherwise. And then we will go ahead and finish with something a little funny. If you're white, you're racist. Did you know that? I certainly did it. I didn't, so my bad, y'all. I am unaware of my white racistness stuff. Yeah, but we'll get into a lot of that.
So yeah, like the Puerto Rican flag thing. Last week I was just scrolling on my phone, and this video came up talking about Ron DeSantis bans the Puerto Rican flag, and I was like, what? Because that's my country. So I was a little upset about it. So I started looking into it, and it is false, people. Like, there's no bill or anything, any law signed that I've...
Nothing that we can find.
There's nothing that we could find that says that is the case. And even if it was, like, in my opinion, I think, like, I should be able to rock a Puerto Rican flag in my car if I want to. And you have your points of views. The Puerto Rican flag on a flag post, that's different. That shouldn't be the case here in America. But in my car, if I want to put a Puerto Rico sticker or hang a flag, it makes no sense to stop that, because I'm not saying I'm un-American by doing that.
I do have... So, okay, first off, I will say, if you're going to fly any flag of any nation, it's got to be the American flag. You live in America, it's the American flag. If you're a legal citizen, that's your country, right? You chose to live here. You made the choice, whatever it is, to live here, so the flag you fly is now American. You do not fly any other flag of any other nation ahead of the one you live. Just like if you're in Great Britain, UK, Scotland, Ireland, Mexico, you fly their flag, not some other countries, right? That's my belief.
Well, now I agree with that, as long as if the person is using the flag to, like, claim territory or claim that their yard is Puerto Rico, that's different, right? But
what do you mean by if they're using it to claim?
Like, like the way you're putting it is like you only fly the American flag because this is America. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the person has a Puerto Rico flag or any other flag from any country, you shouldn't take it as, oh, they're un-American because they're rocking a different flag in America. Mm-hmm. They're just proud of where they come from, and that's it.
I understand being proud of where you come from, But I don't agree with showing the pride of where you hail from over the pride of the country that you live in. Where, I mean, like, okay, if you're going to have it in your yard.
But that's not the case.
If you have it in your, I know, but if I'm working to it, if you have it in your yard, it's the American flag because that's where everybody can see it. Like, I remember growing up in Houston, there was a few houses that had the Mexican flag, but no American flag, no U.S. flag. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was like, well, why are they doing that? They don't live. I was a kid, like 6 years old. Yeah. Why are they flying a non-U.S. flag? This isn't Mexico. This is America. You fly the U.S. flag. If you want to have all that memorabilia inside your own home, go ahead. No one's saying you shouldn't. Where I am a little conflicted is with the car. I like whenever I see Puerto Rican banners and flags hanging from rearview mirrors here in Austin, I don't think anything of it. I really don't. But whenever I see a Ukrainian flag flying proudly on the side of the window or the Ukrainian flag symbol as a bumper sticker, I'm like, okay, we get it. That's supposed to be a symbol. You stand with Ukraine in the Russia invasion. But what about America? If you're going to put the Ukrainian flag on there, why don't you have a United States flag on there?
Well, I've seen flag posts with the Ukrainian flag right under the American flag.
I mean, that's if you want to do that, that's fine because the American flag is still hailing above.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the American flag has to be
first.
Above
it has to be first. Yeah, exactly. And
I agree with that.
I just don't know why people are hell-bent on not showing their pride of being an American citizen. And I think over a different country. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that so many of the institutions to this day, including influencers, celebrities, politicians, are telling you how bad the roots of America is and how bad America is and how bad half the country is because of their political leanings, which I think is ridiculous. Yeah. And so, I mean, when it comes to a flag, I'm fine with the way things are right now. If you burn the American flag, you go to jail. That's the way it is. I'm cool with that. If you want to fly flags in your yard, the American flag has to be in there. And I think if you're going to do it on a flagpole and you're going to have two flags, make sure the American flag is at the top. I'm okay with things like that, right? But if you're not going to do any U.S. flag on when it's viewable for everybody to see, I'm like, and you're going to put a Mexico, Russia, China, or anything of that nature, I'm a little fishy on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a touchy subject too, because see, to me, Puerto Rico is like, might as well be a state, right?
Yeah.
So, but then you got the Mexico flag and China and all that. You know, that it's a touchy subject because of what that nation is to us, I guess.
Yeah. If you're going to be proud of where you come from, by all means, show that pride in your home for everybody that comes over to see.
Or in my car.
That's again, I'm about it. Like when I see it, I don't think anything of it. But in the whole Ukrainian aspect, I'm like, so you guys are going to show everybody that you stand with Ukraine, but you're not going to show your pride in being an American?
Yeah.
Like, because when I see the Puerto Rican one, I'm like, it's also an American colony, if you will. I don't know the technical terminology. I just basically call it a subsidiary of the American company.
I think it's called Commonwealth.
But yeah, either way, it's like it's got strong ties to America, right? You are a U.S. citizen.
You just called the United States a company.
I know.
Okay.
The American company, and Puerto Rico is basically a subsidiary. But I think that you were born a United States citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's fine, right? Because it's got ties to America, but it still shouldn't belong above or solely by itself. Like, if you're going to have it in your car, I think you need to have the American flag as well. These are just my personal opinions, okay? It's just because I'm sick and tired of seeing so much anti-America bullshit, forgive my language, instead of pro-America. I mean, and I don't even like the Confederate flag.
And you know, if I have the Puerto Rican flag and I had somebody like you, like, confront me about it, I would tell them I'm more American than Puerto Rican. But
I still don't agree with confronting you.
The flag is it's where I was born and raised. So
I would never confront somebody on that because it's like, you know what, that's not my life, and there's no point in getting in an altercation.
Some people will.
People will. I don't think you should. It's just like and this is my thing, my opinion, my thing, that I just think that in the United States of America, the United States of America memorabilia, the United States American symbols, all that should come first. That's all I'm saying. But anywho, we'll go ahead and move on from that topic. But, you comment below. Let us know what you guys think. Do you agree with Lone Wolf on this? Do you agree with me? Do you guys have mixed feelings? Have you even thought about it before?
No.
Just let us know what you think. And we'll go from there. We'll see what you guys have to say. But moving on from that, we'll go ahead and get involved in Target. For those of you who don't know what's going on with Target, which I think is hard to not know in today's day and age, but to give you a little bit more specifics about Target, they are facing a lot of backlash and calls for boycotting, which for the most part is working because of their Pride memorabilia that they have been promoting in the front of their stores, and lots of it, including in the kids section. Now, for instance, there are things that are like tuck-friendly bathing suits that they say, especially leftist media outlets, they say that they're not geared towards children. For instance, the Washington Post, at one point, they said that the Target is taking some LGBTQ plus or pride items off the shelves, but in reality, it's the ones tied to that satanic designer that we talked about earlier.
Those are the ones coming out. I think the brand is...
I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's a German word for ricochet.
Yeah, Aprelin or something like that.
Aprelin or something like that. Yeah. So, but at the same time,
so those
some of the things that they're saying is that for instance, this is quote from the Washington Post: the company did not specify which items were being removed, but misinformation in recent days has centered on its children's bathing suits that were falsely labeled as tuck-friendly by prominent conservative groups and media outlets. The tuck-friendly swimming suits were only for adults, the Associated Press reported. Tuck-friendly swimwear offers extra coverage to allow transgender women without gender-affirming operations to conceal their genitalia. Basically, they're saying that these tuck-friendly are for men, biological men, to wear to hide their junk because they want to say that they're a woman. But in reality, a lot of these sizes, you have videos of people saying that you have a lot of these sizes, for children. And then you have onesies, you have socks, you have books that are geared towards like coloring pronouns books and stuff like that for children. You have queer and trans onesies, bibs, bathing suits, t-shirts, socks, pet accessories, all this. And so it's troubling. And you know what? If you doubt us, fine. Tell you what, we'll go ahead and show you some proof. Check this out.
And there's a lot of controversy going on about all of the Pride stuff that's coming out with kids' clothes and things like that. So we're going to go to the kids section and we're actually going to see if they're putting weird, creepy, uncomfy stuff on children's clothing. Okay, this is the child section. This is literally the kids section. I'm next to a literal onesie that says whatever the hell that means. We have Glad You Came Out and I'm So Happy That You're Queer in the kids section. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, but pride and toddler don't belong in the same sentence. So I found an extra small swimsuit in the child section. It says light binding effect on it. And then the bottoms in the kids section, keep in mind, say tuck-friendly construction. They're giving it to your kids. If that doesn't give you a reason to boycott Target, I don't know what does.
Wow.
There you have it.
Wow. I mean, can you believe that?
In the kids section, but it's not for kids.
Yeah. Oh no, there's nothing to see here. It's not for kids. It's conservatives. It's conservatives pounce. That's not what's going on. They're lying to you. No, who's lying to you are the people who are trying to hide the truth from you. Obviously, that's what lying is. You see, that made no sense. Hold on, let me formulate my.
Yeah, you gotta say that again.
Yeah. Okay, who's lying to you are the leftists and liberal-leaning media organizations, outlets that use colorful words or try to paint conservatives as the bad guys and try and say allegedly kid stuff, but they're not. You just go to a Target. I don't know how many of them still have them up because a lot of them are starting to take them down. Well, but you go to Target, you go online, you find these videos. There's a reason why there's backlash and boycott for a reason. because this shit is true. Again, forgive my language, but
if they still have it, it's probably going to be towards the back, small section. But I think they still have it, going into the DEI and ESG and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if they were told to carry that, then pretty sure they're still going to have it somewhere in the store.
Oh, yeah. And what's crazy is that ever since this started happening, I don't know if we preluded to this earlier, but ever since this started happening, in 10 days, they have lost a capital market value. So they're basically their stock. Yeah. And with a decrease in their stock like this and a boycott, that their sales revenue is going to go down dramatically too. So I'm sure they're hurting pretty bad. But their capital market has gone down by 14%, which was roughly how much in 10 days?
$10 billion.
$10 billion. That's an average of $1 billion lost in market value per day. You were looking at some of the stock value in the history of that.
Yeah, some of the stock value since, May 16th or 14th? Their stock value has dropped like $28 in a couple of weeks.
Jeez.
But what's cool, like interesting that I found, like Rolling Stone, left leaning, they say companies that go woke aren't going broke.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz himself said that a boycott against Target wouldn't be effective.
Yeah. He thinks that it won't be as successful as the Bud Light one.
Yeah, he thinks it won't be sustainable, and I agree with his idea of it being sustained. Because what's going to replace Target, right? Because it's like Disney. Like you can go to Six Flags or whatever, but only at Disney you get
Cinderella
and Toy Story and Star Wars. So it might not be sustainable, but they do work. I mean, $1 billion a day is no joke. It's a lot.
Yeah, and so it's like back to that Rolling Stone point. They say companies that go woke don't go broke.
Mm-hmm.
Bud Light, Miller, Target.
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys serious? These are multi-billion-dollar companies internationally. And here in America, just the boycott here in America is starting to have some serious effects. I mean, you had higher executives of this company, fear of a boycott scenario like Bud Light, right, of the backlash, that they started having these, what were referred to as emergency phone calls from the higher-ups to store managers, district managers, trying to get people to, what was it? They're trying to get them to take the Pride products, trying to get the size from roughly, whatever it was, to about a third of the size and move it from the front of the store to the back, and pulling a lot of merchandise off their shelves. And we have a quote from someone who, this is off of Timcast, but an insider with Target said that there were emergency calls from executives to store and district managers about the Pride merchandise and critiques. So the insider said, and I quote, "We were given 36 hours, told to take all of our Pride stuff, the entire section, and move it into a section that's a third the size." The unnamed Target insider told the outlet, end quote. "From the front of the store to the back of the store, you can't have anything on mannequins and no large signage. We call our customers guests. There is outrage on their part. This year, it is just exponentially more than any other year." End quote. That says a lot.
They're scared.
They're scared. They're scared. And, of course, a lot of this they're also going to say that it's because the spokespeople for Target have said that they've made these decisions because of threats of violence that are facing their team members, and their safety of the team members.
Yeah, they're worried about their team member safety.
Yeah, which is completely understandable. But can anybody tell me what those threats are?
I haven't seen one yet. There was one video of a guy ripping down the Pride sign in front of the store, but that's about it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to see anything. I haven't heard anything. I haven't read any violence or acts of criminal injustice or whatever. Criminal acts of violence against employees or guests. Or
maybe the worst thing that's happening is that you have an easier shift because there's not as many customers.
Yeah, it's like I will say there have been some people that have called. Like there was a woman that called, and this is off of Timcast. She basically said that let's see if I can remember. I don't remember any. Here we go. So it was an internal memo. So basically, she said that there's an internal memo going around in regards to the company's Pride merchandise and have the potential to motivate extremists to violence. And that's a quote, motivate extremists to violence. That's a quote that they put in the memo. Yeah. Right. And I don't know what extremists are talking about, but that insider said that based on internal discussions and memos and the culture of Target, it's very left leaning and has a lot of leftist ideology that's pushed through how they operate and and the products that they do in the higher up. So anytime some of these controversial topics come up especially between like Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives, it's the conservatives that find themselves afraid to talk. Because they're afraid of being fired, they're afraid of being criticized and ridiculed by their team members. Yeah. And she said she no longer feels welcome at Target as a team member. And she stayed anonymous because she's scared. She's scared. And it's not the liberals that are scared. It's not the leftists that's scared, which overwhelmingly have a history of resorting to violence, especially because they view speech as violence. So they think that gives them free reign and an excuse to go to physical violence. Because you conflate the two. Violence is not subjective, it's objective. Violence is a physical attack on someone, right? That's what violence is. If I were to just come over and punch Lone right in the face, which sometimes I feel like doing,
he won't.
That would be a physical act of violence. No, because I get my ass whooped.
He knows better.
I may be fast, but one punch and I'm down. I'm good.
Nah.
But
I think it'll be a good fight.
Yeah.
Should get some gloves.
Ooh, too bad we no longer we still worked with someone who used to keep punching bag or boxing gloves in his trunk.
Nice.
Yeah, he said him and his kids would take them out and just start fighting just in the parking lot and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Anyways, to get back on topic, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, or peoples, whatever you want to be referred to, lady or gentlemen. Anyways, so that. I mean, it's crazy because this is what they want, and what they want is people like the World Economic Forum, right? This
is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of research. This is it. What we're about to bring up about the World Economic Forum, ESG, or environmental social governance, diversity, equity, inclusion. I mean, this stuff is, you would think it's a conspiracy theory, but no, This
actually happens.
It's actually happening in movies, to where you have all these cabals and all these secret syndicate type organizations working together all across the globe to affect companies and real life events. Where do you think they get it from? This stuff is real. Proving it? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. But there's ESG. ESG is widely known by this point, but it's not rarely talked about. It's rarely talked about, especially in these big media outlets that most people go to: New York Times, Washington Post, Washington Times, New York Post, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, CBS. All these main outlets that people go to for news. It's not talked about.
Yeah, they don't talk about it, and every publicly traded company.
There you go. Get it. Spit it out, Puerto Rican.
Can they all fall under these same rules, and it's crazy how the forum can tell you this is what you're gonna do, and you have to do it, and if you don't do it, you get punished, and you have to do it, and you're doing it knowing that you're gonna hurt the company, and it's insane. Me.
I don't get it. It's like you do it. Well, in many cases, it's not even knowing that they're going to hurt the company. It's that they're so disconnected from the rest of America because these are Ivy League, bachelor, master, PhD degree people who go to college to be indoctrinated into one worldview, one specific perspective, and you're indoctrinated to a very specific set of leftist ideologies. Okay, that's the biggest key difference. It's left-leaning ideologies. And they are so disconnected from the regular people that, like us, you listening to us or watching to us right now, that's the biggest difference. Is they don't actually truly understand what we care about, what we value, because they're in their ivory towers making decisions based on what them and their cronies, them and their friends. I'd say friends loosely because you don't really have many when you get to that point.
No.
it's all competition and all facade, right?
Yeah.
So they do it based on what they all want and what they all say, what they all do. It's not about us. But we found this interesting video. We probably won't show you the full thing, but it's extremely interesting, and it's well worth your time to research into. You know, bits and pieces. It's a lot to dive into, but we highly recommend that you do it. So go ahead and check this out.
Here's why. There's 3 initiatives that are put down through the World Economic Forum. One is called CEI, one is called ESG, and one is called DEI. These initiatives are put down as social initiatives from the World Economic Forum, the most powerful people on the planet, through the banks to the big corporations. These corporations, unlike my business, actually depend on that financing 100%. So if they don't do the things that these 3 initiatives, the CEI, the ESG, and the DEI say, they actually lose their funding. So they can't operate their business. So you say, well, aren't these people smart enough to understand why they're destroying their business? They can't not do it. Because if they don't do it, they won't get their funding. So they can't operate. So they have no choice but to do it. And then they drive their business into the dirt. And here's why that's happening. Because the people who run these companies, the officers of the companies, are not the founders of the companies. These are people that are many generations removed and many degrees of caring about the actual brand removed. All right. So these people are college graduates who think they know a whole bunch of stuff because they have an advanced degree, and they are making decisions that are, basically about the money and thinking that eventually people will adopt this and it will stop. But it's not going to stop, and it's not supposed to stop.
So, yeah, so I hope you guys like that little tidbit there. It's about 1:11 or so like that. But, hey, credit to Lone Wolf for finding that, because, that kind of stuff is very interesting. Very interesting. The fact that they get their, the World Economic Forum, the most powerful organization out there, they use funding, they use banks to control these companies, and then of course these executives at these companies that, again, they have no real emotional attachment to the brand because they are not involved in the creation of it. We have, for instance, we are making a buttload of $0 on this podcast so far, and we're negative because we spend money on it.
Oh yeah.
But this is something that we're passionate about. This is something we care about. This is something that we enjoy, and we care about what the brand is and what it says to other people. If this podcast, by some means of God, and is able to keep going after we're gone, and it stays to our true values, then thank the Lord that he's been able to have such a big influence in the fact that the people who keep doing this podcast, keep speaking the truth and the American values. But many of these companies, what they'll find is that generations after the people started it, right, their emotional tie to it, their care for the company, the brand, the people that are involved in it, the community, it goes out the window because all they care about is the money. That's it.
It's like a lot of these companies that are still here nowadays, like, I don't know, Heinz, for example, right? Ketchup? Yeah. So when Mr. Heinz was creating his company, he had the passion, the drive, and everything to make it what it is, right? But nowadays, like, go look up a Heinz CEO and see how much he cares about the ketchup.
Yeah.
He's not going to care like the founder did.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the disconnect is. Even in America losing its values, like even companies have lost their values and their roots.
Yeah.
And now you have all these sit in a comfy ass chair, desk, suited up Ivy League graduates that are just filling their pockets with money and not caring.
Yeah, you hear that? Filling your monies with pockets.
That's all we
want. That's all we want. Not pockets full of money, money full of pockets where you can put more money pockets in. That reminds me of Hot Pockets. I liked that as a kid.
If I could fill my money with pockets, it'll be more secure. How about that?
Okay. All right.
Think about it that way.
Speaking of product, one of the last things we'll bring up about Target is Chip and Joanna Gaines. I don't know. They're very, very well known, very popular. They're Christians. I don't know if they're conservative or not. I would, based on some of the stuff that they've done in the past, I would say that they lean that way. Yeah. But as far as what they say publicly, they haven't done anything, really. They haven't said one way or another. They just respect everybody as human beings on this earth, and that's what they want to do. They're love thy neighbor, love thy enemy. I mean, Jesus said, truly I tell you, love thy neighbor, and love thy neighbor, love thy enemy, and pray for those who persecute you. And that's what they do. That's essentially what they do. They're a loving family of 5 kids. They've got the TV show Fixer Upper. They've got their own Magnolia brand. Home and Hearth is the one that's they started, I guess, is specifically with Target that they did in 2017. And so they're
some of their Magnolia products sell in Target too. Like
they have a contract. It's Magnolia. They have I'm sure they have a very good contract with Target, right? But now there's been a lot of calls from conservatives and Republicans or people who just do not like what Target is doing towards the children with the Pride, that they're calling for them to speak up and say something about this. Otherwise, remove your product from Target. Otherwise, you're essentially condoning it, which I don't agree with at all. I mean, I don't agree that just because they don't speak out that they're condoning it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything because they haven't said anything. So this is a bunch of people assuming, right?
And assumptions make an ass out of you and me. Yeah. Hey, credit Leilani for that. Her dad used to tell her that growing up. Yep. We thought that was great. I like that.
You're assuming that they're okay with it when in reality they might not be. Also, they have a family to think about. They have their show. They have their product lines. They have a contract. They have their reputation to consider. So forcing somebody or pressuring somebody to say something against a topic that you don't agree with and they should think like you, then that's...
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, it's been what, 2 weeks maybe? With all this backlash started, and they haven't come out and said something, so automatically they're the bad guy. I mean, you had a Fox News host trying to basically
Rachel Campos. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Right. I don't remember the video. You were the one watching it, but do you remember what some of the stuff she was saying?
She was just saying that they haven't, spoken out about it publicly. Yeah. Like she wants them to say something about it publicly against Target. Right. But, they got a lot of things to consider. Let them handle their own business, and Rachel, you handle yours.
Yeah. And for all we know, they are actually in the works of trying to figure out with their lawyers, how can we get out of this? We really do have moral conflictions with this. How do we take what our options are and get out of this and get out of Target and go somewhere else? Or maybe they're trying to look at their options of, okay, we can get out of this contract with Target, but where else would we go? Because if we don't find a backup, we lose a lot of money, right? And so, we don't want them to focus on the money, but when you start to get into the aspect where they could lose, I don't know how profitable their business is, but I'm going to say they could possibly lose hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe even millions. No. Like, what...
And the money's not important. I mean, it's, they created this stuff from the ground up. Yeah. Like, they're not just going to have their all life's work, destroyed because of one comment. Yeah. Just because of they should come out and say something about it. Exactly. They're not going to do that. Yeah. They're smart people.
Yeah. But, I mean, that was just one little thing we want to show. But there's one little final little happy note to end on in terms of Target. There's this music video that is basically promoting boycotting Target. And it's got, in a very short period of time, it got 3 million views on iTunes. And that noise, I'm pretty sure, is my fridge.
Okay. Yeah. I thought somebody was knocking.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. So this artist, I'm trying to remember his name. Let's see. His name on Twitter is Trump's Nephew, but it's, what is it? Forgiato Blow 47 is the...
That's the handle, yeah.
Is the handle on Twitter. Blow, Forgiato Blow and Jimmy Levi. Those are the names of the people that did this video. But this basically calls to Target boycott. So we thought this is a little long, 2 minutes, 40 seconds, but we thought this would be a nice little cap on the bottle of Target. So check it out. Yeah. Attention all shoppers. Yeah. There's a cleanup on every aisle. Yeah. Target is targeting your kids. Yeah.
grannies with scars. Why they pushing agenda, promoting sexual genders? I'm only rocking with Bruce, don't rock with no Caitlyn Jenner. You think that gay shit gon' get you paid? Yeah, we gon' see. It's Mar-a-Lago 2024, we trumping, baby. They put a target on my back, but they targeting your kids. They don't even need to ask, cause you all know what it is. Yeah, that's why I keep it strapped, and I'm always by my beds. This agenda gotta stop. Yeah, you know we gonna win when they target, yeah, they targeting. Target, yeah, they target kids. Target, yeah, they targeting. Target, yeah, they target kids. Heard the news story, targeting kids. They going after our youth, and yeah, they do it like this. If you ain't mad yet, well, then you better be pissed. Let's protest until they close and they ain't gonna be missed. Why they got pride shirts in the kids' clothing section? Why they trying to mess with the kids and give misconceptions? They manipulating minds and making evil impressions. Got little boys tucking out by time they teens got depression.
We need to clean up on every island inside this store Satan resides. Wash it with the blood of Christ. It's needed here, so don't think twice. Dating with a Satanist, we all know this is the end. God is coming for revenge. Target is targeting.
They put a target on my back, but they're targeting your kids. They don't even need to ask, cause you all know what it is. Yeah, that's why I keep it strapped, and I'm always by my beds. This agenda gotta stop. Yeah, you know we gonna win when they target, yeah, they targeting. Target, yeah, they target kids. Target, yeah, they targeting. Target, yeah, they target kids.
Well, I certainly like that music video.
Good.
I thought that was good. You know, target in your kids. Target. All right, sorry, I'll stop. But one of the guys towards the end is just talking about how it's like you got Satan in these aisles, you know, basically in the store, and you need, you know, Christ and God to wash it all out. I thought that was great. You know, we need more of that. We need more of people promoting Christ and God and the love and the protection and that He provides, and that He needs to be. You know, it's crazy. Whenever it's like what people don't understand is that this is merely more than just objective reality versus subjective reality. In other words, it's more than just facts versus feelings. Okay, this is literally spiritual warfare manifesting itself in our world. It's forces of good versus forces of evil, right? And the forces of evil are targeting our kids. I don't have kids, but you know, I have an 8-year-old sister and a 13-year-old brother. I am, on some cases, I'm terrified that they will be subjected to this stuff because it is evil. It is disgusting. It is amoral. Is amoral the right word? Immoral. I think amoral is like, you know, neither here or there. But either way, it's immoral, it's evil, it's disgusting, and it's attacking the innocence of kids. And we need people who are pro-God, need people who are believers in Christ, and people who are believers in what He stands for and what He promotes, to understand that it's a fight between good and evil, and there is no neutrality. In this world, there is no neutrality, because one way or another, you will be called to fight. It just depends on which side you end up on. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And I think more people need to understand that. Because you got to, even if you're not a believer, you've got to know that there's something more, there's malevolent and benevolent forces at play here. Mm-hmm. And if you just look at the news, all you see is malevolent forces. I mean, you really think that this is merely just political or cultural? There's something deeper going on here. And I encourage everybody to explore what that is and what they think that it is. That's
for sure.
That's what I believe. It truly is.
Wars, no matter what allies you have or who you partner up with, is still one side against the other.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's it.
But, hey, we'll go ahead and start to wrap things up. You know, I think it's been it's a pretty heavy topic. Yeah. But before you go, as we alluded to, did you know that if you are white, you are racist?
If you're white, yes, you are racist. Even if you think you're woke, we all benefit from oppression. Pretending you're not racist only makes racism grow.
What kind of shit is that? By the way, she's white.
She says pretending to not be racist makes racism grow.
I guess. I don't know.
Does that make
what's
sense?
one thing that you've always said in regards to attributing to Morgan Freeman?
Us, my man Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
You want to stop racism? Stop talking about it.
Now, obviously, not necessarily, because you're going to have people who believe in racist shit and that they're going to attribute, inferiority or superiority based on the color of your skin.
Yeah.
That's part of being a human. You're gonna live with it. NFL is saying it takes all of us. It takes all of us for what? You can't get two people to agree on dinner, right? The husband and wife can't agree on dinner. You think you're gonna be able to get the entire human race to agree to end racism? I'm sorry, but like I said, malevolent and benevolent forces. You're going to have some people that are going to be racist and they like it that way, and you have a lot of people that are going to be fighting against it. Right? I don't agree with racism. I think it's a terrible thing, and I think it's led to a lot of evil things in the past. Look at World War II.
Yep.
Right? Look at slavery here in America. Right? Racism has led to a lot of stuff. I mean, slavery didn't start off because of racism. Right? There was, Native American tribes that enslaved each other. Right?
Yeah,
but racism grew because of it, and then it created
around.
even more issues. Right? But yes, trying to do all this bullshit with saying that if you're white, you're inherently racist. Isn't that just a little bit of race? Isn't that just a little racist itself?
Yeah.
Now, call me crazy, but this world is crazy. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and end it there. But again, don't forget that I do support this backlash and boycott of Target because they're targeting our kids. I will not shop there anymore, and I will not support them in any way, form, or fashion. I just don't think that they deserve that because, there's a disconnect. They need to feel the hurt just like Bush did, Bud Light. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people caught in the crossfires, but there's a lot of options out there for people. You can find something else.
Oh yeah.
And it's just about your drive and where your values stand. Are you gonna let your values and your principles and God be first? God first and then the rest. Or are you going to allow your pocketbook to judge everything you do? It's as simple as that. So anyways, we'll end it there, but don't forget to like this episode, click the like button, hit subscribe. You can follow us on YouTube at America's Dummies, Rumble at America's Dummies 22, Twitter, Facebook. Don't forget you can reach us there at America's Dummies as well. And we're gonna be hopefully you like the intro, hopefully you'll like the outro coming up, and we are gonna be continuing making some changes here behind the scenes to provide again greater content for you. And if you have any suggestions, any comments, concerns, comment below or send us an email at americasdummiespodcast@gmail.com, and we would love to hear from you. But other than that, that's all I got.
That's all I got, man. It's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. That's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
All right. Lone Wolf, Con McClure signing off.
Peace.
Until next time.